Number 1. 2-for-1 Special, Double Darwin Award. On February 20th, 2018 in Poland, a tragic event unfolded following a road collision. Two men, aged 29 and 40, emerged from their damaged vehicles, and instead of respectively solving the solution, they decided to engage in a heated argument. The disagreement quickly escalated into a physical altercation with punches exchanged between the two individuals. These men really thought they were the stars in Creed 3, so much so that they lost complete track of their surroundings, taking the fight into the middle of the street.
Onto the street, bro! I will beat your motherfucking...
As the confrontation intensified, both men inadvertently stumbled into the path of an oncoming semi-truck. Despite the driver's attempts to maneuver away from the sudden obstruction, the collision proved inevitable. The result? Instead of knockout, it was resulted in the deaths of two men.
Bruh.
Number 2. Death by Superman. Petty Officer Brandon Delbert, serving in the United States Navy during the Iraq War, tragically met his end by doing something called supermanning. To put it simply, supermanning is a foolish stunt that involves suspending oneself out of the back of a helicopter's cargo ramp using a makeshift harness. Brandon decided to use safety belts and cargo straps to hold his body while he hung and flew out of the back of the MH-35 helicopter in a Superman type of pose, arms wide, feet spread out. A MH-35 helicopter has a cruising speed of up to 138 miles per hour. I'll let you take a guess on what happened next. During the stunt, the grip on the harness failed, causing him to plummet 125 feet into the Persian Gulf. What's funny is the pilots remained unaware of the actions due to the obstructed view caused by cargo. Number 3. Got trapped in his own trap. On Thanksgiving evening in 2019 in the rural town of Van Buren, Maine, Ronald Sire, age 65, was shot and killed by himself, by accident, by a makeshift home security trap. Sir was concerned about protecting his family's jewelry, so he decided to take matters into his own hands and devised a makeshift security system for his home. He somehow pulled off a home alone and rigged a handgun to a door in his house. The setup was designed to discharge when the door was opened by unauthorized individuals. Additionally, Sear installed other booby traps around his property. I'm still trying to figure out who Bro was beefing with. Bro is setting up traps like he's Vector from Despicable Me. These security measures were intended to deter intruders, but they ultimately proved to be deadly for Sear himself. In a tragic turn of events, while trying to safeguard his home, Sear accidentally triggered the improvised security mechanism, resulting in a fatal gunshot wound. Oh yeah! Number 4. Death by a book. This one is interesting. The 58-year-old treasure hunter from Colorado read a book called The Thrill of the Chase by Forrest Fenns. This book hinted at a buried treasure worth millions somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. Michael became convinced he knew the treasure's location based on Fenns' clues. In February 2020, Michael persuaded a 65-year-old acquaintance to join him on a treasure hunt in Dinosaur National Monument on the Colorado-Utah border. Despite their lack of preparation for an overnight stay, Michael and his companion embarked on their quest. However, their expedition turned disastrous as they failed to find the treasure and lost their bearings in the wilderness. Cold, hungry, and disoriented, they almost nearly froze to death but were eventually rescued by a search and rescue team. Any rational person would stop after failing to find the treasure and after nearly getting you and your friend killed, but no! After his recovery from the last ordeal, he decided to do it again. Michael ventured out for a second attempt a month later, dragging his reluctant friend along.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Ignoring warnings about the difficult terrain in the COVID-19 epidemic, Michael set out with minimal supplies, including a copy of Fenn's book, and tragically, their journey ended in disaster once again when Michael's lifeless body was discovered near their abandoned snowmobiles. Ironically, it was around the same area from where they were rescued previously. His companion survived but refuses to discuss their ordeal. The dumbest part is after the incident, the author came out and said someone already found the treasure, though no one has confirmed this statement to be true. Number 5. Death by Riz. Louis III, the ruler of West Francia during the 9th century, experienced a brief yet eventful reign characterized by military successes. However, his life took a tragic turn while riding on horseback. Louis caught sight of a captivating woman. He couldn't help but snap his neck in the other direction just to get a glimpse of this beautiful woman. Blinded by his infatuation, he commanded his horse to pursue her. Eyes on the prize, so much so that he wasn't aware of his surroundings. In a moment of inadvertence, Louis collided with a door lintel, inflicting a fatal blow to his skull. The impact fractured his cranium, leading to his untimely demise. The true Riz God. Number 6. Accidentally shot his On November 27, 2018, at a Walmart in Buckeye, Arizona, involved a man accidentally shooting himself in his manhood. What makes this somewhat comical is when the gun went off, he was shopping in the meat section of the store.
Bruh.
I guess he wanted sausages half off. According to reports from the Buckeye Police Department, the man was carrying his firearm in an unconventional manner known as commando style, which meant he had the gun tucked unholstered beneath his waistband. At some point during his shopping, the firearm slipped down in his jeans, prompting him to attempt to readjust its position. In a moment of carelessness, while trying to reposition the weapon, he inadvertently pulled the trigger, causing the gun to discharge. The result was a self-inflicted gunshot wound to his groin area, leading to injury. Consider this an honorable mention because he didn't die, but his injuries caused him to be able to never reproduce again. Bro really neutered himself. Number 7. Death by Bridge. May 24th, 2019, near Lake Charles, Louisiana. Two individuals from Texas, aged 32 and 23, attempted to cross the Black Bayou drawbridge, which was closed to cars but open to boats at the time. During this time, the bridge was up with a slight gap in the middle to make way for boats, forming a sort of ramp between the two sections of the bridge. The men in the car must have gave each other that look and knew what time it is. Bro probably gave him that "for family" look and then hit the gas.
He thinks I'm done. I'm not. Run it. I'm ready to die now.
Tragically, instead of safely navigating the gap, the vehicle plummeted off the edge of the drawbridge, plunging into the water below. Number 8. Death by computer. A Russian soldier in the midst of the Ukraine war decided to use a MacBook in replacement of his steel plate designed to go into his bulletproof vest. Placing the MacBook in his vest as a replacement wasn't smart, of course, as it led to his demise. He should have went with a Nokia. Anyways, his body was recovered and it provided a laugh for some of the Ukraine soldiers as they considered it instant karma. They also reported that the MacBook happened to be stolen as well. Number 9. Death by water bottles. On April 19, 2022, in Italy, at a supermarket in the city of Cattolica, a man described as a ransacker attempted to break into the supermarket on Easter Monday, unaware that his ill-fated decision would be his last. After sneaking into the back of the closed market, the man paused to quench his thirst by grabbing a bottle of water from a towering stack of crates. However, his actions caused the entire stack to collapse on top of him, engulfing him in a sudden tidal wave of water and crates. The following day, employees returned to the shop and discovered the collapsed mass of crates. As they began to sort through the debris, they made a shocking discovery: an arm emerging from the wreckage. It became apparent that the tragedy had occurred, but the full extent was not immediately clear. Thanks to CCTV footage, authorities were able to reconstruct the final moments of the man's life. The footage revealed that as he attempted to retrieve the bottle of water, he inadvertently triggered the collapse of the crates, leading to his fatal crushing under their weight. Number 10. Death by, a jacket, I guess. On August 26th in Leicester, England, a perplexing incident unfolded, leading to the tragic death of 33-year-old Darren. Initially, the authorities suspected foul play when Darren was discovered in his home's hallway with stab wounds to his chest. However, investigations yielded no evidence of an assailant. A year later, during the inquest, the mystery surrounding Darren's demise began to unravel. Darren had made a phone call to a friend shortly before the incident and then called back asking for an ambulance. Emergency responders found him near a blood-stained lock knife, which was later revealed to be his own, purchased during a holiday in Spain. Forensic analysis indicated no signs of a struggle, and the coroner suggested that the stab wounds appeared to be self-inflicted. This conclusion puzzled investigators, as Darren had not exhibited any prior suicidal tendencies, and the fact that he called for an ambulance added further confusion. However, Darren's wife, who was away on vacation during the incident, provided a crucial piece of information that clarified the situation. She recalled Darren expressing curiosity about whether his new jacket was stab-proof before her departure.
Bruh.
The jacket that was supposed to protect him was the reason he was unsubscribed from life. Number 11. Death by internet. At 1:30 a.m. in Rouen, a 47-year-old man made a desperate attempt to escape his room by descending down an Ethernet cable. Sadly, this man had a problem with alcohol, and his mother had taken measures to confine him in his room to protect him from self-harm due to intoxication. However, his weight exceeded a little more than a terabyte, causing the Ethernet cable's capacity to snap and resulting in a fatal fall from the 9th-story apartment to the street below. Despite efforts by medical professionals, he could not be revived. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Remember, knowledge is power. Cheers!
Knowledge.